Hi there, Steve from SalesFaith with you, and thanks for joining me. I'm just going to give you an overview of a new module, sales training module that we've released on our website. I'll put a link in the description box for you to take you through to that website if you'd like to check that out. And today what we're talking about is our fourth module in the series of the power of prospecting, and this is closing the sale. And so that's mastering the art of asking for the order. But in this particular module, what we're talking about is understanding that closing the sale isn't necessarily just about getting the purchase. Yes, it can be that, but it's also a technique that can help you in being able to close the sale from the perspective of achieving the next step. So really, really important, particularly when you're dealing with cold calls or cold leads, somewhere where you're taking this from zero to something. So in a cold lead scenario where you're doing a cold call, you want to make sure that by the time you get to the end of that meeting that you're having, if you've, even as short as it is, if you had an opportunity to speak to someone in a cold call scenario, try and achieve a next step. So when that discussion closes, you don't walk out of that meeting scratching your head going, oh, well, okay, what am I going to do next? You've already got a commitment around, yes, I can come back and see you. So sometimes in that meeting, you might be given the opportunity to launch into a full discussion or a full presentation, but sometimes you might need to back off from that and you might need to make another time to come back, and that's okay. That's a win. And so in this particular module, where you can find the link below in the description box, we're going to run through a couple of key aspects of what that looks like for you. So you want to understand what is the psychology of closing. So there's a range of things that people go through when they're dealing with you in terms of making decisions about next steps or purchasing decisions, and we're going to help you understand that. And then the types of closes, we'll take you through what the types of closes look like. There's different things that you can do in your sales technique to be able to ask different questions that allow you to go through a closing process to get you to the next step. Whether it's a next meeting or whether it's a purchase, will help you with the closing techniques that you should be using. Another thing is reading the signals. So what sort of verbal buying signals are you receiving? What sort of non-verbal buying signals are you receiving? And then what's the engagement? What's the timeliness of the response for the person that you're talking to? So we'll walk through that. And then how to overcome final objections. So in that meeting that you're having with them, you might strike some objections. Oh, we don't want to do this because, or we've done that before and it didn't work for us. And we'll give you tools and things that you can put into your daily sales practice to help you dealing with those objections, and not only dealing with them, but actually starting to turn them into positives. How to actually turn it back, flip it on the prospect, and then create buying signals from that. So we'll walk you through that as well. And then another big one is asking for the order. All too often, salespeople will not ask for the order because they don't feel confident, or they feel like they're asking for too much or putting somebody out. Asking for the order in this case, again, because we're talking about cold calls, isn't just about getting the purchase. It can be about getting a commitment to a next step, but we've got to be confident to do that. We're the ones that have got to steer that conversation, because the prospect might not necessarily say it to you. They might not say, you know what, I really like what you're telling me about. Can you come back in a week? They might, but they might not. So you've got to be able to steer that conversation. And then we also want to take you through closing with a win-win scenario. We all know about win-wins. It's a catchphrase that we hear all over the place. Win-win this, win-win that. But you've got to understand, what does it mean? What does it mean to your prospect / customer? And what does it mean to you? So what is a genuine win-win in that scenario? So we take you through that. And then we'll give you a summary, some key points to take away, and some things to practice in your daily sales routine, so that when you're in that moment of truth, when you're talking to the customer, you're feeling very confident about the messages that you're conveying, the way that you're adding value, the value proposition that you're putting in front of them, and that all of the things that you're talking about are being received in a very positive way so that you can achieve your outcome. So I look forward to seeing you over there in the module. Thanks very much for joining us today. Remember, if this type of information is important to you in your daily professional career and your practices and everything that you're doing in terms of developing as a salesperson, doesn't matter whether you're at a beginner level, intermediate, or a seasoned pro, There'll be things in these modules that will help you develop your sales career. Remember, if that's something that's of interest to you, please like the video, please share it with your friends, please subscribe if it's something that you think is going to add value to your career, and don't forget, if you're subscribing, to click the notifications button so that you can receive from us updates as new content's being released. I'm Steve, we're SalesFaith. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye for now.